And by the way, how many of you think that we cheated the Indians out of Manhattan Island for $24? Well, the Indians scammed us on Manhattan. That's another thing. We didn't scam them. The Indians, and I say this in jocularity and with goodwill, I'm no anger, we got scammed. Well, the original settlers got scammed, not us, of course. But I'll tell you the truth of that, too, in the not-too-distant future. Now, back to the Indians and how they scammed us out of Manhattan. One of the great myths of Thanksgiving is that we swindled the Indians when we bought Manhattan Island from them. We swindled them. And this, too, is part of the multicultural curriculum, and it's also part of the whole narrative that we have been mean, and we tortured, mistreated the Native Americans who were here first and who really still should have this country. And you've heard the drill. $24 is what we're told that we got Manhattan for. Yeah, it wasn't even money. It was trinkets and beads, a bunch of hippie stuff. It turns out, and this is according to a book by Theodore Roosevelt, that none of that is true. It turns out the Indians are the one who ran the real estate scam when they sold Manhattan. It's a book on Theodore Roosevelt, Commissioner Roosevelt, the story of Theodore Roosevelt and the New York City police. It's by H. Paul Jeffers, and here are the relevant paragraphs about this. A persuasive case can be made that the city of New York began with a swindle. For generations, screw-old children have been taught that a slick trick was played on unsuspecting Indians by the director of the Dutch West India Company, Peter Minuit. In 1626, he purchased the island of Manhattan for 60 guilders worth of trinkets, about $24. What Minuit did not know at the time, however, was that his masterful real estate deal had been struck with the Canarsie tribe, led by Curtis Sliwa. They were residents of Long Island. They held no title to the land. They did not have standing to sell Manhattan to Peter Minuit and the Dutch. In due course, the intruders from Amsterdam, the Dutch, who thought they had pulled a sharp one on the locals, were forced into negotiating a second, more costly deal with the real landlords of Manhattan. And that's what it was called back then, Manna-Hatton. So the Indians, they're the ones that ran the scam. They got $24 equivalent, beads and trinkets and stuff, for selling nothing. But the story sounds so perfect. Typical Western European screwing people of color out of what was rightfully theirs and taking advantage of them, when in fact it was the other way around. Just like the true story of Thanksgiving. Never, ever, seldom. I think maybe now that's changed, but when I was growing up and before and long after, the truth was never really part of it.